Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Hope you're having a great Monday. We're going to try and make it better for you. Want to remind you all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, our official website, thestephennightshow.com, where you can get our merch. This is one of the hoodies that we had. And then go to YouTube and subscribe, like, and comment. We definitely appreciate your support. I want to shout out one of my friends. Earlier this year, he had contracted COVID, and I would check on him. He was in the hospital, and I hadn't talked to him in a few months, so I was fearing the worst. One of our mutual friends talked to his mother and confirmed that he passed away in April. So this is for you, Brandon, and may you rest in peace. All right, how's everybody doing? On a lighter note, how's everybody doing?
Monday,
right? Monday. Yeah. All right, well, our question of the day is: are you a people person? Lynia, are you a people person?
no.
Said that quick.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I said.
Do you want to explain yourself?
Yeah.
No, I do not. I'm gonna sip my water.
Chike, are you a people person?
It depends. At times, I have my moments. Sometimes I really seriously hate people.
What about you, Nayyir?
I am a super misanthrope. I do not like people. But I'm with Chike, to be realistic. At times, it really just depends. But more often, I'm finding the older I get, I am a super misanthrope.
You know, most people would think I'm a people person. I think I am, but I don't always feel like being a people person. Like I'm the person that will keep my headphones on when I have nothing playing, like on a flight, so someone talk to me. And this happened last week. I was, I started going back in the sauna now that I'm vaccinated and everything. I got in the sauna, and there were these two guys in there talking to each other. And I had my headphones on. I wasn't listening to anything. And they were talking. So the one guy gets up and he leaves. Hey, bro. He starts talking to me, just random talking about his investments and his girl and all this. Thankfully, he got too hot. He said he had to go. I don't want to talk. I just want to sit in the sauna. Anyway, tweet us at home. Let us know, are you a people person? All right. So Idris Elba, he made a post over the weekend saying that social media should be more stringent with its users to combat racism. So if you remember, there was a soccer tournament in Europe where three African American players were targeted on social media after they lost the game, being called, a lot of racist, being called racist names and racist comments towards them. Now, one of the players did come out and say that Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram should do more to combat the platforms. But Idris said that, when you're a celebrity, you get your ID verification on these social media platforms, and you have to prove your identity. And he says that he thinks that everyone should have to do that because, people always say a lot of nasty things, comments and things like that. And a lot of times just their username. It's not their face, it's not their name. And so he thinks that people should be able to stand behind their comments. If you're going to make these comments on people's posts, we should be able to see who you are that is saying this. Nayyir, what do you think about this concept?
Nayyir?
Yeah.
When I heard you say that, when I saw that earlier, there are other social media platforms based out of other countries that you do have to verify your identity by ID or passport or otherwise to even get on the network, if you can, and sometimes it's even more strict than that. So I actually think that could be a really good idea for us here in America. Somebody like him has probably experienced other social media platforms in other places where he's had to do that. Aside from being a celebrity, you just have to do that. So I think that's a really good idea.
Chike, what are your thoughts?
So on a journalistic sense, yes, because journalists need to stand by their word. However, at what point do we have the freedom of speech without policing it? How will you get to a point where you can feel totally comfortable saying whatever it is that you want to say without repercussions in your real life? Like, because I decide to vent how I feel about the government, I should not have to lose my job because I'm feeling at odds with my establishment at that point. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I just have issues with that.
I was watching a show today, and one of the co-hosts, he said
it's a good thing you had pants on, man.
right. One of the co-hosts, he said that he thinks it's a good idea as his daughter gets old enough, she's about to get on social media. People do make fake accounts as kids and it'd be grown men, targeting little kids, and this way it's verifiable. And then I think, I know a lot of celebrities, and I read the comments on, like the Shade Room and things like that. Those people be going in on those people. And someone was saying, what if someone doesn't have the mental capacity to deal with that and not just see it as a hater and, they harm themselves? I mean, Lynia, what are your thoughts on all this?
The whole freedom of speech thing is tricky. But I guess why I feel partly it's a good idea because, if you're going to say what you're going to say, then why go into the guise and being anonymous of it? Just say what you're going to say. Because most of the time, people create fake pages. But if you so bad, like if you're bold enough to create a fake page and then go to somebody else's page and talk mess on their page, that's a lot of work. You ain't got nothing else to do with your life.
Right.
Like, got nothing that has nothing to do with Chike's point about being a journalist, but that's just people who ain't got nothing else to do with their life. And then you get into the people who catfish people. We got shows about that. Then you get into, your child predators who are lurking for children on the net. And our kids today are so immersed in so much stuff online. And it's like, how do you even control what they're seeing online? I mean, no matter how, my boyfriend got all kinds of stuff for his kids in the phones and how much, but it's a lot to even maintain that because he can't think of all the sites. So as soon as they go to something, then he gets alerted. So that's tricky. I mean, but if you bad and bold, why don't you just be out there talking all your smack, all these robots and scam? Like, how do these, these
bots
make $5,000 an hour? Like, how do they even know how to come to us? Like, how does that happen? I'm just sitting like, you're cracking up. I'm just saying, I don't understand. I'm laughing, but I don't understand.
Right.
To Chike's point, though, I totally get what he's saying. I think that raises another issue that we really have to figure out a solution for. Freedom of speech should be freedom of speech without repercussion. So I think that would force our hands in figuring out, because if we really, put an exposure on that fact that Chike spoke to, if I have something to say and it's not in alignment with how my company sees things, then it should be illegal. It should be illegal for me to be fired or lose my job or be pushed out of my job because I feel differently. So I think it would make us raise other issues and more important conversations, to Chike's point. So I do see that as a very, very valid point as well, though.
Absolutely.
And to be fair, my company, actually, the company that I work for, sent out a disclaimer. They had a whole printout they sent to all of our emails about dealing with press during the coronavirus. And they told us specifically that if any press wants to talk to us, we should refer them to the company. We should not talk to them about any press. They don't know that that guy that works for them has an alter ego, which is here now. And I say what I want, and I'm going to continue to say what I want as regard to anything that I want to talk about.
Yeah. And I just started a new job today, and they said that if you do, like I post on Facebook, I work at this company, be mindful of what you post because it's affiliated. But I want to say also, I've been, people have used my pictures and created profiles on Facebook and on Instagram and things like that. Even one was pretending to be the host of the Stephen Knight Show, was posting the videos that when I promote the show. I mean, the whole thing. And was going, following my family and friends, and they were asking, do you have a new page? You know what I mean? So something needs to be done for sure,
But how do you combat that?
Right.
Especially like, Chike's had an issue with somebody hacking into his. I've had an issue with somebody creating a fake page with my pictures, like especially when we're public figures and we have pictures that are already out there.
Right.
It's like, how do you combat something like that when somebody be like, "Oh yeah, what is this you?" No, that ain't. Listen, let me tell you something. Somebody took a picture of mine and put it on a Muslim dating profile, and I had all my cleavage shown on a Muslim dating
That would've been
profile.
different. Right, yeah.
You hear me? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, no, that ain't me. I eat all the pork in America. What are you talking about?
Right, right.
So I'm just saying, like, it's like I feel like we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, let's switch topics to the Olympics. So, well, not really the Olympics, but Sha'Carri Richardson, she was the track star who was suspended after testing positive for marijuana. Remember, she said that she had found out after her mother had passed away, literally coming off the field. She was being interviewed, and the interviewer told her. And I guess her and her mother weren't in the best place, but that really sent her into, emotional distress. So that's why she said that she had smoked marijuana, but she was suspended, and so she's unable to compete. Well, this company called Dr. Dabber, they are a vaping company. They have reached out to her reportedly and offered $250,000 to become a spokesperson. And they said, at Dr. Dabber, we believe that THC can actually have many positive effects on the athlete's recovery and overall well-being. That's what it said in the offer letter. TMZ found this or obtained this. They said that to hear the information come from, this is what she said about the stranger, but they were very proud of how they said fabulous she looked, and how compassionate she was, and taking ownership of testing positive. There's no word on whether or not she even received the offer letter or has accepted. What do you all think? I'll ask you, Chike, what do you think? Is this a good idea for her? They also don't know if it's a one-time thing or if it's an ongoing thing. What are your thoughts on this?
So, knowing what I know about vaping and some of the protests surrounding vaping in teens, I would suggest that she stay away from it, especially if she wants a future with the Olympics. If she wants to come back, I think she should stay away from the vaping, not unless they have a way that you can vape your vitamins and minerals and electrolytes and all that stuff. If you could find a way to vape healthy stuff, then yeah, she can rock with it. But other than that, run away from it.
Lynia?
Definitely stay away from it because vaping right now is like a hot topic, pun intended. It's like a hot topic right now because it's creating a lot of hazards and dangers, especially for teens, and it's just it's becoming a real problem. So I would definitely say stay away from it.
Nayyir, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, the way from what we know, it's probably just a conversation to be had and put in escrow, a conversation to be had with her business team and that vaping company. There might be some positive spin that they can creatively put together as a partnership where she can still grab the bag. But if, flat out the way we're assuming it should be, I don't think she should approach that partnership. But her business team, it might be a conversation for them to see what creatively can come out of it for positive impact around the things that Chike was just talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea for just because it would seem like to me it's a slap in the face for her being suspended for smoking, knowing that's against their policies of the Olympics. So if she wanted to continue having a career, and she's a household name now and she's doing so well, I think it would be a good idea to stay away from it. But at least they did offer it. I mean, it seemed like their intention behind offering it was behind, for a good reason. But listen, we'll come back with more hot topics. Find out what they're saying about minimum wage workers not being able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment anywhere in the 50 states here in the United States. Right back after this.